What's up? This is Ninja Biker, Mr. Ninja Biker. Alright, so pretty much this is just a 2016 Honda CBR 500R review. My personal opinion on it. This is my daily commute. It's what I use pretty much every day, 5 days a week. And just kind of give you my opinion on this bike. So pretty much this is twin 4-stroke. It's got a 6-speed, obviously liquid cooled. It's O-ring, sealed chain. It says that the gasoline gallon capacity is 4.1, but it's hard to believe that because every time I fill it up, it's probably at like 3 point something, 3.5. So just a little under from what the specs are reading online. The version that I have is the ABS version. With the 320 millimeters, single disc in the back, 240 millimeters, single piston, 2 pistons up in the front. Yeah, so pretty much this bike is my first street bike, and the reason why I ended up making this review on this bike is because there wasn't a lot of reviews for this specific bike when I went to go and look it up. I mean, this thing caught my eye. I initially went in there to get a 300, a Kawasaki Ninja 300, the 2016 or 15 model, whichever one it was. I was gonna pick that up at first, just because it was just one of the bikes that I ended up using for the course. But like I said, this ended up catching my eye, and I went with the 500R instead. And it is the CC range is 471 CCs. Compared to the 2-something, I believe it was on the Kawasaki Ninja. Overall, this bike is probably one of the best beginner bikes. Stated even in the reviews from other people was, it's a great overall bike. The position that you stand in, it's not so aggressive. It's almost, excuse my my loose fairing there, just buzzing. But yeah, it's one of those bikes that's almost like well-rounded as far as it goes, because if you're not really sitting in that aggressive style like the R6s or anything above, and the RRs or any type of super sport bikes where you're kind of leaning over. This one you're kind of sitting upright. You can definitely get down into that aggressive stance, but yeah, it's a comfortable stance, especially if you're a beginner rider. Haven't had a lot of time on 2 wheels. This is probably one of the better sport street bikes to go with. Right now, the little mods, I got a different mode or exhaust on it. I got a Hot Bodies MGP growler exhaust on it without the silencer. Makes it sound a lot better. It's not as quiet. Obviously, you want to have your bike look a little better, and gives it a little bit more style points than that. And as far as performance for that, you can't really tell the difference with just the muffler on it. I would assume, since this is just a slip-on, you would have to really get like the whole exhaust changed out and do a little tweaking with everything else. But as far as this goes, this is pretty much just running straight stock. And I got pretty much more cosmetic mods than performance mods. Yeah, this bike is a great bike. It has enough power to get you out of the way. That was one of my main concerns about these bikes was, if I get a 300, will I have the time to get out of the way? You always want to get that cushion. You always want to make sure that you have enough cushion and gap, and if you need to find your escape route, do you have enough acceleration to get out of these situations that would possibly be really, really dangerous for you. And that was my input on, and definitely what I was looking at these bikes. Yeah, I wanted to get a 600. Yeah, I wanted to get a 1000 cc. Was I ready for it? Probably not. Went with this choice just because not only with the power of the bikes, and I ended up going with this way also because it is affordable. Now this thing, I picked it off for 7 grand, walking out of the lot. Right now I got about 2,000 miles on it, but fresh off, literally, it's an affordable bike. And I think that the Kawasaki's or the 300s, they're running a little bit less, which is way more affordable. And definitely, if that's in your range, that's in your range. You know what I mean? But if you're one of those guys right now looking at the 2016 models, and I believe the 2015 models are just pretty much identical as far as the specs that I looked at, and as far as ABS and everything, like engine size, I believe the only thing was really cosmetics. Now this thing's full fairings, and it's got a new headlight look. It's got the LEDs, or the high definition headlights. Make it look way more sportier. But yeah, this bike is probably, as far as handling, it gets up to speed. I mean, the fastest I went right now with this bike was opening up probably about 110, and I got up to at least 100 pretty fast, but it was a little sketch trying to get up to that little past 100 with everything stock on it. And the one thing, I guess, one of the downfalls is on the 2016 model, there aren't a lot of aftermarket parts for this due to the fact that it is a newer bike. I was talking to a guy in a shop. I don't know if this is true, but as far as the situation goes, is usually you gotta wait a couple years before they start making aftermarket parts, and due to the fact of the popularity of the bike, that's how they kind of determine, should I make enough or should I make aftermarket parts for this bike. Now, like I said, this is something that was told me from a guy at a shop. He told me that usually that's what they usually do, and it makes sense. It's not anything low. It's not. It sounds about right. I wouldn't make aftermarket parts for something that you definitely can't. That is brand new. So yeah, I think that was the downfall. One of the problems that I had putting on this muffler, the exhaust pipe, was the gap between where the passenger foot peg was, and I had troubles with that with the measurement on it. I guess the angle that they had it bent was for the 2015 model, and it wasn't. Yeah, let's go. Anyways, like I was saying, yeah. So as far as the aftermarket parts for this bike, it's really, really limited. I think the only thing that I really see is probably the exhaust, obviously, and as far as like fairings, even getting like a fairing kit, a blank fairing kit, that's pretty hard to find. I mean, I found a couple on eBay. If anything, it was like used, just sanded down. But yeah, I think over time there will be more parts available for it. A lot more mods you can do for it. But if you're pretty savvy with the bikes and all that, I'm pretty sure you can end up making your own. But as far as like if you're a beginner and you're looking for these parts, they're kind of hard to get by. I'll make a video actually my next video, I'll kind of show you guys some of the mods that I put on. This is simple mods to make your bike look a little bit more sportier, a little bit more eye-catching. I'll do a little walk around my bike and show you what I got on this baby. And yeah, and if you like this video, please comment. If you got any questions, put something down. Let me know what you want to know, and hopefully I can answer them. All right, man. See ya.